Tan, taran, ta, ta. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, chess lovers, wherever you are at the moment. It's your boy Victor. Welcome back to Checkmate with Victor. Today, we would be diving into one of my rated Lichess Blitz game, where my opponent went for the bishop's opening, trying to keep it calm and positional, but I had other plans, and by the end he was warning for my knight, my my queen. Tan, tara, ta, ta. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, chess lovers. It's your boy Victor. Welcome back to Checkmate with Victor. Today we are diving into one of my rated Lichess Blitz games, where my opponent went for the bishop opening, trying to keep it calm and positional, but I had other plans in mind. By the end, he was running for my knight, my queen, and the clock. So let's break it down exactly how it went down. So the bishop's opening looks harmless, but it can quickly transpose into an Italian style battle. I respond naturally after e4 with e5, after bishop to c4 with knight c6, and after d3 with bishop c5. Classic development moves, both sides just setting up their pieces. At this point, I'm thinking I'm not going to sit back. I want that initiative. So after he plays c3, I developed my g knight to the f6 square, and then he pushed a3. Probably he has plans to play b4 later on, but that move doesn't help his development. So I quietly reinforced my center with d6, and when he plays queen to c2, I hit him with aces, preventing any pins, so that I can focus on the attack and offensive side of the game. And then he retreats, his bishop to a1, and there comes my move, knight to g4, putting pressure on the f2 pawn. That knight jump immediately creates pressure. It creates a lot of pressure on that f2 pawn, and the position already feels uncomfortable for my opponent. You will see soon why tempo really matters in these openings. He plays knight to h3, trying to guard the f2 square, the f2 pawn, but that just blocks his bishop and every other thing. Now comes the fun part where I played queen to h4. I believe he should castle here. He should have just castled and continue his development, because if he had castled, probably it would have taken me much more time to break him down. I would have to castle 2 or play my rook to f8 and push the f7 pawn to f5 and create more imbalances over there. Because right now, if you look, suddenly his king side is under fire. So he plays. So let's go back to the game. After he plays bishop to g5, trying to attack my queen, I quickly slide back to h5. And now he's got problems. The queen, the knight, the pawn on f2, everything is hanging by a thread. When he tries to dance around with queen to e2, I just simply attacked his bishop by playing h6. So yeah, he could play this, but I would just exchange bishop, and that would actually give him a bad post structure. So he didn't do that. He retreated back to the c1 square with his bishop, and at this point I got that feeling that my win is almost there. So I played queen to g6. And guess what? At this moment, what was on my mind was to push the f7 pawn to f3, f5. When he tries to dance again with his queen move to f3, I quickly pushed it. I quickly pushed my f7 pawn to f5, and then he developed his knight. His development wasn't really gonna help him, because after that knight move, I played f4. Now, white finally plays b4, attacking my bishop. I played bishop back to b2, and then he plays bishop to b2. I retreated my bishop to b6, and then he played bishop to b2. But by now it's already too late, because I already have a nice tactical idea on my sleeve. I retreat my bishop smartly and keeping the a7 to g1 diagonal alive. I played bishop to d7. He brought his knight to c4, trying to attack my black square bishop, which is so strong at this point. And if I let him take that bishop, it's going to be a loss for me. So I quickly retreat my bishop. Double exclamation for this move, but I just have to keep that bishop in the game. That's a great piece there. So he made a blunder by playing knight to a5. I quickly exchanged it and gave him about pawn structure, and then I retreated my knight to f6. If you look, what would you play in this position? Would you retreat your queen? If you retreat, say you retreat his queen, I quickly capture the pawn. Yeah, and trust me, I can still castle long. And the knight is hanging. The knight on h3 is hanging. So he didn't want to retreat. What did he do? He played knight back. to where G1. And if you look, I believe you can see the computer is already screaming bishop G4, which I did play eventually because that's a winning move when the queen is trapped. So after that move, he resigned. At this point, the position is so tense, and he starts burning time and eventually flags. But let's be honest, the position was already collapsing for white. So what did we learn from this battle? From the first note, I believe we learned that do not let the bishop opening lull you to sleep, because it can backfire fast. And another point which we learned was that when you see your opponent wasting moves like a3 and c3, like my opponent did earlier on, moves like c3, yeah, like c3 and a3, strike immediately with peace activity. And remember, sometimes initiative is more powerful than material. Activity, initiatives, try to get that first, and the game is all yours, the board is all yours. If you enjoyed this, please drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification so you don't miss the next chess tutorial. We are building this chess family move by move right here on Checkmate with Victor. See you in the next one, and keep thinking 3 moves ahead. Checkmate with Victor. Learn, think, and win.